Chapter 11.3. You are listening at FameTV.info. Me and my group of roommates quietly packed up our luggages, and looked at each other a few times. We can see unwillingness and speechlessness from each other's eyes. We have been studying in this military school for a year now. And now that the freshman is coming, the school will separate all the students from the beta dormitory. This tradition has been in practice every year. Because of the scarcity and preciousness of the gender omega and alpha, it is very dangerous for them whenever one enters estrus. And beta, as the gender with the largest amount of people and the one with most stable pheromone fluctuations, naturally have to take care of the other two. So, most of the military schools with alpha and omega will have a strange phenomenon: the beta sophomore will be split into a two-people dorm, and they will stay together with either an alpha or an omega. Of course, most of the beta will be assigned to a relatively safe alpha, because after all, omega's pheromone could also impact a beta when they are extremely emotional/agitated. Yeah, the gender discrimination in the society has always been very serious, so we must obediently cooperate with others when we come here to study in the military school. But this method is indeed not wrong, because estrus is a very dangerous time, and only stable beta will not be affected by them. Ugh, so angry. 0.2 My first roommate was an omega. Perhaps because of my position as the vice president in the student union, I was the only one who received this treatment. Whenever everyone gets together and complained about how dirty their alpha roommate was, or their toxic masculinity and gender discrimination, I felt proud to show off how clean and tidy my dormitory was, and how white and soft is my omega roommate, plus how understanding he was. Then, I got surrounded and beaten by everyone from jealousy. However, good times do not last long. Perhaps it was my solid education base or my considerate and caring, attitude that touched the little omega. He even propositioned me when his estrus was about to arrive. Beta, as the middle gender, can mark an omega as well, though rarely, if affected by their pheromone. Just that they won't be bonded, and the chances of pregnancy are small. Of course, beta can also be marked. I was shocked, but it was understandable. There isn't much beta like me that is outstanding and good in character. However, due to the gender discrimination I received when I was a child was too serious, I have already silently told myself that I will only find a beta female to be my partner in the future. A/O is untouchable. Besides, I am a straight man. Although my roommate is also white and soft, has big eyes, small mouth, and so damned cute, but I am a straight man. The little omega didn't give up after being rejected, insisted to stay in the dormitory while requesting for huggles. Seeing that he is going to enter estrus soon, I could only pick him up and rushed to the school doctor's office. Then I throw that person to the school doctor, and rushed back to the dormitory. Otherwise it will be like Timothy's case last time. It was said that he was forcibly locked in the dormitory with his roommate and do embarrassing things for several days. I don't want to be drained yet. 3 After the little omega moved out of dorm in grief, the other table in my dormitory was empty for a long time. Recently, just a week or so ago, I returned to the dormitory one day and found that my mysterious roommate had prepared his bed and placed his stuff on the table, just that it was not tidied up yet. My heart at the time was very excited. Because based on the pheromone left by that person, he seemed to be an omega as well. I can continue to enjoy a clean dormitory the next few days. I was very careful in keeping my image in the dormitory so that the little omega friend can set a good first impression of me. For example, I didn't smack my lips during mealtime. I didn't whistle or shake my feet during bath. I remember to wear big underpants before getting up from my quilt. Yes, I slept n*ked, sleeping n*ked is good for the skin. In the end, the omega turned out to be absent for a.1 month. His things are on the table, have already started to gather dust. I mopped the floor every day, cleaning, washing underwear and socks. After persisted for half a month, I'm not doing it anymore. Nima, too, who would want to do this every day if not for the sake of trying to make a good impression. I better go back to be a dirty straight man. There is nothing wrong being a dirty straight man. Besides, I am not that dirty. As expected, nothing went wrong. I relaxedly enjoy myself for half a month. Living alone is still very good. For example, you can modustur.ba.te without caring for anyone. We're boys. Yo, it's very normal. I took out my little brother. I stared at the computer screen, and then the dormitory door was open. FC*K immediately became limp in 1 second from the shock that it's the middle of the night. Fortunately, I didn't turn on the lights. So, only the dim light from the computer shone on my face. The door was opened by the key. That means this might be my roommate, because the computer's light was shining at me. I can't see the dark area very well and can only see a blurred tall shadow standing in the doorway. I gave an embarrassing hi and the other nodded, before slowly dragging himself to the lower bunk. I slept on the upper bunk. Watching the floaty walking posture, it was like a ghost. I was scared to death in the middle of the night. Are you my new roommate? The other party stopped his heavy footsteps. He seemed to be looking at me with a raised head and then replied with one word, N. The moment his voice came out, my back felt numb like I was electrocuted. The voice of this Omega classmate is a subwoofer 3. Hello, my name is Alvin Miller, you can call me Al. Al. My name rolled over his tongue and became filled with S***soul flavor. My ears turned hot from listening to that voice. This bass voice is really a foul. German Garcia. His name. Hello, German. He nodded to me again and continued to walk slowly to his bunk. That I closed the computer with a guilty conscience and couldn't help thinking in the darkness. He wouldn't be an alpha, right? Because this height. This voice. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.